We are at Taylor Wimpey's Salden Place, one of the newest estates in Milton Keynes. Today, I'm going to be taking a walk through Salden Place. Well, what is of Salden Place? That should be the first question. We're going to be talking about the history of this place, and then we're going to be talking about how I rate it out of 5 stars in 4 categories. We'll talk about the categories at the end of this video. It's one of the newest estates. Started construction in 2025. It's still under construction, evidently. So we're going to walk down here, which is a long strip road. I believe it's going to be part of the Redway system in Milton Keynes, which is a luxury of living here, in all honesty. One of the few. And yeah, we're going to get down to the bottom. We're going to talk about this series and why I'm starting it, what it's going to be about. It's going to be a very short little monologue. And we're going to crack on with talking about the history, some interesting parts, talk about why I'm starting this very long-term project. So I decided that football season's ending, I've got no more games to go and film, and I've missed being in front of the camera a little bit. I haven't done it in nearing a year, which is far too long. So I thought, give myself a bit of a summer project as I'm currently unemployed. Let's go and see Milton Keynes. Let's really go and appreciate the area I live in. And I thought no better way to do it than to visit every single estate and rate it, compile that rating into a spreadsheet and make the spreadsheet public. Essentially a survey, but a survey only coming from me and my opinions, which are obviously can be objectively correct or incorrect. That's up to you guys to decide in the comments below. If you believe what I'm saying is true, what I'm only compiling what I can find online and telling you guys the information, but also showing you the area. You can make your own minds up. I can tell you this is a 0 out of 10 for cleanliness, but I can't see much rubbish around really. I mean, there's dirt, there's definitely a lot of dirt, but I can't really see a whole lot of rubbish. Originally called Salden Park, this estate was put up through 2025, but show houses have only just been put in, and that was in April 2026. This is going to be around 1,800 new homes, which is obviously massive for the local area around here, actually, which is becoming increasingly overpopulated with all kinds of housing. Yeah, it's a hard one. It's eerie around here. It's very, very eerie, but you can see from the images I'm showing on screen now what it's going to be, and obviously hopefully the developers here follow through with that. It's meant to be designed for energy efficiency, which is ideal. I think really in the current economy we're in, the amount of money you can save the better really, as I think obviously people are struggling. Obviously a Taylor Wimpey development, as you can tell by well, I suppose you can't tell really down here, but when we get up to the top I'll show you the kind of advertising signs that really do show what kind of a developmental place this is. And it's already over 50% sold, which is, I mean, testament to demand. I think it's the right thing to build these houses. It was originally just a country area with some questionable back roads. I mean, I'm currently, in fact, as you can see behind me, this leads all the way up there and continues down there. Oh, head's in the way. Down there and round into a single track country lane, which is very, very testament to the kind of land this was built on. I mean, it's definitely not one of the most interesting places I'm going to cover in this series, but it certainly is a real anomaly to be able to walk along a path right next to a massive industrial site. I mean, this is a very large, you don't build 1,800 new homes overnight. We're in the top of Salden Place, originally Salden Park. And I just want to show you one interesting thing about this new development, and something I think more new development should be doing, and that's keeping the history and the landscape around them relatively, it's obviously very hard to keep a landscape around you when you're building houses on it, but keeping things intact in terms of the old school transport routes of the area. there is a bike lane that goes directly from here in kind of West Bletchley to Winslow, and I think what the developers here have done a very good job of is keeping that intact. As I now step onto the gravel, as you can see here, of the cycle route, kind of you get the feeling that at least they're trying to keep something. I mean, granted this is going to have to be paved over, this is potholes and all kinds of muck, but they've done their best, I believe, to keep this intact. Whether that was put to a panel, whether that was put to a local kind of survey, I have no idea, as you can't find that kind of information freely. So we're going to walk to the end of this road here, as you can kind of horseshoe track ridden path here, and you can kind of get a glimpse over the hedges of what this landscape's going to look like in a few months, maybe even weeks time, as maybe even people have already started to move in. You can see here, I don't want to get too up close, I don't want to intrude on these guys too much as they're just living their lives at home, but this is Salden Place. This is Salden Place East according to the signs. I'm assuming where I was walking is going to be the Salden Place West. It's rather interesting. I'll walk down there in a moment and try and capture things without annoying people. That's the aim. Oh yeah, look at that. That's all new builds. And it's obviously approaching further down there. As you can see, more developments. But it's nice to see a lot of green space at the top here. Not really usable, but there's definitely green space. At least you don't feel like you're being trapped in. You can see this is the entrance to Salden Place. This roundabout is new. You cannot find it on Google Maps. It's got no Google Street View here at all. And here's the entrance to Salden Place East, as you can see, barely, due to the sun. So this will be the entrance to walk up. So you've got some advertising signs. I'm assuming these will be taken down as this place is fully built and established. It's got a similar feel to Fairfields, which is more heading out towards Stony Stratford. You can see, got lots of signage, part exchange, Taylor Wimpey, 5 stars customer selection, deposit top up available. That's very good. And as we are approaching here, we've got these almost gate-like elements, to call them, that have inscribed on a sandstony looking plaque on the front, Salden Place 2025. That is going to be immortalised. Ripped flag up there, but here we are. Don't want to ruin anything up close. The grass has been nicely cut, but here we are. Salden Place 2025. Lovely gates. I'm a big fan of these at the start of estates, to be honest with you. I think this really adds a bit of character to in reality, a really soulless kind of place. I mean, there's nothing on the back denotes anything. And here we are at the entrance where we just walked up the cycle route down there. And I'm assuming, can only assume, because there's nothing online. I didn't even know this second part here was going to be happening, but can only assume there's going to be more buildings, or maybe this is just kind of a kind of hub for materials to come in and the workers to park the cars and so on. Can only assume, because there's nothing online that says anything about it, which is great. When you turn up on a day, you don't expect to see things, eh? There we are. Here's the entrance. We're going to make sure there's no cars coming before I start walking down the middle of a road. But here we are. Salden Place. We'll have to come back here later on in the series to part 2 when it's all fully built, because it's meant to have sports pitches and all that kind of jazz, all the kind of grassy sports and leisure developments that all lovely new builds end up with. It's lovely. One of the tidier new builds I've had had the pleasure of walking around. So the rankings are based off 4 categories. We're going to rate it out of 5 in each of the categories to give it a total score out of 20. So we're going to start with grasslands, grassy areas, green space. That is the actual name of the ranking I'm giving it, green space. Wow, as I continue to walk up here, you can see there's an abundance of green space right behind me, which it's not usable. So you can't give it 5 stars for usable green space, because I do feel like that would be unfair on other estates that potentially are going to have obviously sports facilities and pitches and things like that. So I'm going to give it a 3. We're going to have amenities. There is nothing. There is a sales office, which I wouldn't say is an amenity, but there is no bus stop around here, which I'd say is pretty integral really. There is no shops, there's no doctor's surgery, there's no health facility, and there's really not a lot of them housing. Granted, there are amenities in Bletchley, which is just past the main road which borders the estate, but that's not in this estate, so we can't really count that. We are going to give it a 1 purely because they are planning on building it, and I feel like it's unfair to give it a 0 because it's got the potential to have it. We're going to go with cleanliness. I didn't see that much rubbish. I saw normal building site rubbish, which is to be expected in this area because it's a building site at the end of the day. It's still a working area. There are still people here that come to work every day to build these houses. So you have to give credit where credit's due. There is plastic around, plastic wraps. I haven't seen cans or bottles of drink or anything, or alcohol or cigarette butts and vapes, which is always gonna give an extra star for not having any of that around in the areas I've walked through. So the walk past, there is a sweet and smoky barbecue pasta on the floor. I'm going to go with 4. It's really quite clean. And then the final category is ease of access. I'm going to have to give this a 2. 3. No, let's go with a 3. A 3 again for this one. Because it's got 3 out of the 5 pillars, really, of commuter access, or people wanting to come here, visit friends, visit family, whatever. It hasn't got a bus stop. Train stations, a good hour's walk. Can't count them. Cars, getting here by car, easy. Getting here by bike, it's on a cycle route. I'm walking along the cycle route, it's on a cycle route. That's amazing. Very few areas in Milton Keynes are on historic cycle routes now because they've been replaced by redways. And redways are amazing, don't get me wrong, but you can't beat an historic cycle route that goes to another area of Buckinghamshire. And there's no buses around here, which really does ruin the fun, but it is walkable from Bletchley, and realistically there's no school here, so you're going to have to go to school possibly in Chestnuts, which is just over into the estate down there, part of Far Bletchley. So I think overall it's quite a strong new build in terms of kind of what you would assume as a new build. It's got a little bit going for it. Obviously it's very soulless, very characterless, but it's got crossings for bikes and pedestrians. It's got a nice clean entranceway and area around it. It is a bit eerie. It's probably quite weird walking around it at night, but you've also got to look at, it's only been up and people have been able to move in since the start of the year. Well, actually, I think April. So, at minimum 11 days. So you've got to give it time to build that character. On that note, really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think of this in the comments and by pressing the like button. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.